All right, so I think I'm recording. We're taking a look at these application problems in our skill packet number one. Um, let's see what we have here. We have in 1960, a man earned more than $18,737 at his factory job. After 20 years at the same job, he is earning less than $32,629. Write a compound inequality to represent the gentleman's income for the past 20 years. All right, so some of this information in this problem is just extraneous information. The inequality, the variable of interest is income. We are interested in dollars. The 1960, the 20 years, are extraneous information. All right. So on a number line, we have smaller numbers that are to the left, and larger numbers are to the right. Is how we graph them on the number line. So when he started his job, or at least at some point early in his career, it was $18,737 annually for his salary. So then years later, he got up to close to 32,629. So those are the endpoints of the values of interest, and we're interested, of course, of all the values in between there too, over the span of that 20 years. Now, let's look at the words very carefully here. It says more than, so it doesn't say at least. It doesn't say equal to. With more than, I always like to think of it as strictly more than, that I do not shade. This endpoint is not in my set. And on the maximum value here with less than, again, I think strictly less than. So when I shade in the possible numbers that I want to describe, it's all of the numbers that are between those endpoints, excluding those endpoints. So let's just let x. Later on, we will be looking at a type of numbers that are called imaginary numbers, and most of the time they reserve the letter I to represent imaginary numbers. I don't, even though I for income, I use T for temperature in one of the problems, and sometimes it's nice to use a letter like that to just give yourself a meaning as you're working through the problem, to remind yourself what the unknown variable represents. But here I'm just going to use x. So x is representing this guy's income in dollars, his annual income. So if I write a compound inequality, this 18,737, x is between these two values. I can see that from how I've shaded in my number line. And because these are not solid dots, these are strict inequalities, I do not put less than or equal to, because I want strictly less than. I do not put less than or equal to, I want strictly less than. I want this dollar, the income, x, to be strictly between these two endpoints. So there's my compound inequality for this problem. And remember, the arrows must point in the same direction and towards the smaller value. Hope that helps, and talk to you later.